Let me tell you a quick story about two colleagues, Anna and Ben. They both started at their company on the same day, with the same role. For a year, Anna worked incredibly hard. She stayed late, took on extra projects, and felt she was consistently outperforming Ben. One day, the company announces a new, exciting project, and their manager gives it to Ben. Anna is crushed. She scrolls through social media, sees Ben's excited posts, and a toxic mix of feelings boils up inside her: envy, injustice, and anger. She thinks, "I worked harder. I deserved it more. It's just not fair." This raw, human feeling of "it's not fair," the sting of seeing someone else receive a blessing we feel we earned, is the central theme of one of Jesus' most provocative and misunderstood parables, the parable of the workers in the vineyard. The story, found in Matthew chapter 20, begins like this. "For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay them a denarius for the day and sent them into his vineyard. About 9 in the morning he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, 'You also go and work in my vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right.' So they went. He went out again about noon and about 3 in the afternoon and did the same thing. About 5 in the afternoon he went out and found still others standing around. He asked them, 'Why have you been standing here all day long doing nothing?' 'Because no one has hired us,' they answered. He said to them, 'You also go and work in my vineyard.' When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, 'Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last ones hired and going on to the first.' The workers who were hired about 5 in the afternoon came, and each received a denarius. So when those came who were hired first, they expected to receive more. But each one of them also received a denarius. When they received it, they began to grumble against the landowner. 'These who were hired last worked only 1 hour,' they said, 'and you have made them equal to us who have borne the burden of the work and the heat of the day.' But he answered one of them, 'I am not being unfair to you, friend. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Take your pay and go. I want to give the one who was hired last the same as I gave you. Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money? Or are you envious because I am generous?' Jesus concludes, 'So the last will be first, and the first will be last.' To feel the full impact of this story, we have to understand the context. A denarius was a standard, fair wage for a full day of hard labor. The first workers agreed to a just contract. The marketplace was where day laborers, often the poorest and most desperate, would wait, hoping for work to feed their families for that single day. The man hired at the 11th hour was likely hopeless, expecting to go home with nothing. Notice the owner's deliberate action. He pays the last ones first. He wants the early workers to see the extravagant grace extended to the latecomers. This isn't just about paying wages. It's a calculated lesson. This parable is a direct challenge to our deeply ingrained human operating system, which runs on merit, fairness, and comparison. So how do we apply its radical message to our lives? First, recognize your comparison scoreboard. The application. We all have a mental scoreboard. We track our career progress against our colleagues, our lifestyle against our neighbors, our family's achievements against those we see on social media. The first workers were content with their wage until they started comparing. Comparison is the thief of joy. The first practical step is to simply acknowledge, without judgment, that we are keeping score. The common obstacle: pride and denial. We don't want to admit we are envious or that we compare ourselves to others. We disguise it as healthy competition or staying informed. Example: the next time you find yourself scrolling through someone's social media feed and feel that sting of envy, just label the feeling. Say to yourself, "I am now looking at my comparison scoreboard. This is what this feeling is." This simple act of mindfulness can begin to break the cycle. Second, shift from a merit to a grace mindset. The application. We live in a world that screams, "You get what you deserve." We believe that our hard work, our morality, or our effort entitles us to certain blessings. This parable shows that God's kingdom operates on a completely different principle: grace. Grace is, by its very nature, unfair by human standards. It's an unearned, unmerited gift. The common obstacle, our deep-seated sense of fairness and entitlement. We want a transactional God who rewards us according to our performance. We are comfortable with mercy for ourselves, but we prefer justice for others, especially if we feel they are less deserving. Example: when you see someone who you feel has cut corners or doesn't deserve it, get a blessing, a promotion, a relationship, a lucky break. Your challenge is to reframe it. Instead of thinking, "That's not fair," try thinking, "That is a demonstration of extravagant grace. I am glad they received it." This shifts your heart from resentment to celebration of grace itself. Third, find joy in your agreement, not in others' amount. The application. The first workers were not cheated. They received exactly what they agreed to, a fair and just wage. Their misery came not from what they received, but from what their neighbor received. The secret to contentment is to focus on our own agreement with God, the unique blessings, calling, and provisions He has given us, without looking over the fence. The common obstacle, the scarcity mindset. The belief that there is a limited pie of blessings, and if someone else gets a big slice, it means there is less for us. The parable shows that the landowner's resources are infinite. Example: be truly grateful for your own salary, your own home, your own family, based on their own merits and the blessings they are to you. The challenge is to find joy in your own denarius, without letting the denarius given to someone else poison your gratitude. This unfair parable reveals that God is not a cosmic employer who pays by the hour. He is a radically generous Father who gives out of the abundance of His love. The danger is not that we will be cheated by God, but that our own envy will prevent us from enjoying the generous wage He has already given us. Your challenge for the week. Identify one person or situation that triggers your comparison scoreboard. Every time you find yourself feeling envious or resentful this week, consciously stop and do two things. First, name one thing in your own life related to that situation for which you are genuinely grateful. Second, say a silent prayer of blessing for the person you are envying. Ask God to bless them even more. This radical act is the fastest way to break the power of envy. Let's close with a prayer. Generous Father, forgive us for our envy. Forgive us for keeping score and for questioning your goodness when you bless others. Cure us of our scarcity mindset and help us to trust in your infinite abundance. Give us the grace to celebrate the grace you show to others, and to find deep and lasting joy in the fair wage you have already promised and given to us. Amen. If this message challenged your perspective, please like this video and subscribe to Biblical Wisdom for Modern Life. May you find contentment in the blessings you have been given.